Welcome to the ScissorSalute Show. Before we get started with today's show, we'd like to have a moment of silence for Jake. John the Barber is going to be on the show tonight, and we wanted to show some respect for him and his loss. So, just a moment of silence.
No problem. I shall transform your hair, create a masterpiece. I am an artiste with a pair of scissors.
My new cuts got him talking at the barbershop.
Fresh from the barbershop, fly from the beauty salon.
My new cuts got him talking at the barbershop.
I got a show where you can listen and view.
My new cuts got him talking at the
Bringing
barbershop.
barbers and stylists together with the ScissorSalute.
My new cuts got him talking at the barbershop.
One cut, two cut, three cut, four. Nails done, hair done, everything did. Nails done, hair done, everything did. Oh, you fancy. Spending hours in salons on your hairstyle.
For the Lord protects his barbers and he makes the stubble grow.
Scissor! Salute! Salute!
Welcome to the ScissorSalute Show. I'm your host, Eli the Barber. The co-host couldn't make it here tonight. Blazing Blush, ScissorSalute, and sorry for your loss. The show is made for barbers and hairstylists. So, you know what? Let's start this all over again. It's a live show, so give me a bit. It was a rough weekend for me. Welcome to the ScissorSalute Show. I'm your host, Eli the Barber. We would like to send our condolences to Blazing Blush. He's the co-host. He's not here tonight. Let's get into the meaning of the ScissorSalute, which is a gesture, compliment, greeting, lifestyle dedicated to bringing barbers and hairstylists, makeup artists together worldwide. And we use the ScissorSalute Show as an outlet to actually make that happen. Every Monday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we give the opportunity for the visual artists to come down here and showcase their skills live on the ScissorSalute Show while conducting interviews with them and taking phone calls in with some of your favorite artists, so you can find out how they got started, where they currently are, they plan to be going on their journey. Now, this is the age of the independent educator, and I'd like to add that no longer do we have to rely on these big companies for us to go out and educate. With that being said, if you feel like you would like to, get your feet wet educating, and you would like to showcase to see if you have what it takes, you can email us, or you can email us to book us for an event or anything. Email us, ScissorSalute@yahoo.com. We'll get back to you in the order that the emails are received. The ScissorSalute Show is co-produced by the co-owner, New York and Queen, produced by the owner, Seth Rowe. We're broadcasting live from StrongIsland.tv via Paradise Studios, and LA's on the boards. Now, let's get into a recap of last week's show. From Atlanta, we had Aiden Hollister. That sound like someone famous right there, Aiden Hollister. She's on the right. She just moved down to Atlanta. She's been doing hair, I believe, 7-8 years. And one of the things that I loved about her coming onto the show is that she is focusing on the men's hair units. Now, with that being said, that's opportunity to make some real serious money right there. I believe the classes range from like anywhere from $500 to $1,000 for the educational class, but you get your money back within like the first person that you do. The units, I believe, last like a month. So you do the hair unit, and then it's like maintenance to keep up with it. So there's a lot of money, a lot of opportunity that there's just another outlet that you can perfect. And from Generations Barbershop, located in Redford, Michigan, we had Barbara Streisand. Oh, you want to go back to that, LA? Let's go back, because that's not Barbara Streisand. There we go. We had Barbara Streisand. She's in the middle.
Too.
Huh?
Musa, Black Symmetrical, he's in that picture too.
Okay, yeah. So we had Barbara Streisand. She said she was looking for a famous person and just switched the Barbara to Barbara Streisand. Yeah, it's working. And she also makes cakes too. So hopefully next time she comes down, bringing some baked goods. And to the left, we have Black Symmetrical, owner of Generations Barbershop, located in Redford, Michigan. One of the things, when he came down here, we talked with the same age group. He has a lot of knowledge to share with everybody. And one of the things that we've been seeing on social media is the quality over quantity. And, you know, it was great to meet him. And the funny thing is, we've been trying to see this guy for how long, and then we just find out when his IG handle, Black Symmetrical, like, oh.
Yeah, he was been following us and supporting us for a very long time. And I only know him as the owner of Generations Barbershop. And then when we asked for his IG, and he said Black Symmetrical, it all came together. He's been supporting us for a long time. So salute to Musa, and that's Black Symmetrical.
And his IG handle is BLKSYMMETRICAL. Now we had a call in too. Alexis Natal, known as One Bad Mother Cutter. She called in. She wanted to touch up on Orlando premiere, what she experienced and the changes that she's seen. She said there was a lot of barbering stuff going on there. And she's been doing education for a while. But when you do education, it takes time away from other things in life. So if you're busy in this profession, you're already losing time with your family and friends. And then when you do education, you lose more time with your family and friends. Her advice is stay humble, and that's it. You just got to keep trucking. She said that she was doing so much classes, she lost a lot of clientele doing the classes. You know, so you gotta find some balance. We wish her the best of luck, and hopefully when she's up here in New York, or you know, next time she's up here, she could come down to the studio and we could get a one-on-one interview with her, or she could do some showcasing. And visiting from Florida in studio segment, we had Sarah Jane Collins, known as Sarah Jane Colors. Again, just goes to show you the direction of where the profession's going. She is a hairstylist, but she does barbering as well. She's also getting into everything. She's getting into everything. Whether, what's that with the eyebrows? What's that called? Microblading. She's getting into microblading. She's going to try doing some eyelash extensions. Basically anything that has to do with this profession. Makeup. I think she said she even did nails at one point. So she's really locked in. We'd like to salute her and thank you for coming down to the studio and doing the in-studio interview. Now this week, showcasing from New Jersey, Jonathan Fernandes. This is not his first time on the show. He's been here before. John the Barber J. He actually did some work for Muck at BarberCon. I didn't get a chance to see it, but he did some work.
Oh, yeah, we
Muck.
have that. He did a skull. It's probably the best skull I've ever seen.
He did so he did a design. Yeah, so he does it all, but he's won a couple competitions. I know that from the last time we interviewed him. He's done some education. I guess he's back to the education platform. and he has an announcement. He's going to be opening up a barbershop soon. So salute to that. And Jonathan would like to dedicate this show, him coming down, to his friend that passed away, Jake. And in studio guests from the Chop Shop, located in North Arlington, New Jersey, we have Jaime Lynn. And her IG is its_Jaime Lynn. Now, it's an interesting story about Jonathan. His sister does hair. I believe this is his girlfriend. She does hair. So it's like, with just between his sister and his girl, they could open up a shop and you got three going already, right from the bit.
And I think Jamie's a barber.
Yeah, she's a barber. She does hair. That's one of the things, like, with females in our profession that, you know, that are barbers. A lot of them, not all of them, they also do women's hair too. So it's like they got the advantage. So we're gonna be interviewing her and getting into that and how she balances it. You know, very, very interesting. Call-ins from Life with Autism. We have Freddy Ocasio. What? Ocasio. I was trying to go Latino right there, but I guess it's Ocasio. I guess he might be Italian right there. The website he's gonna be talking about autism, and you could go to www.lifewithautisminc.net.
And I just want to mention real quick that he actually reached out to Kate Owens from Kate's Cuts,
right?
And he's looking to do an autism event in the Bronx, and he's looking to have Kate's Cuts be a part of it. So she's actually calling in tonight too. Another addition to the call-in. Kate's Cuts actually be calling in very soon. So, and she'll be talking about the event that she's looking to do with Freddy.
And we also have another announcement. I believe it's the last Sunday of June. The ScissorSalute will be doing a pop-up barbershop at what tattoo event?
I believe it's the United Ink in the Nassau Coliseum in Long Island.
Okay, so at the last Sunday of June, United Ink is having a tattoo convention at Nassau Coliseum. The ScissorSalute will be doing a pop-up barbershop there. So if you're tatted and you want to come down, it's going to be a pop-up barbershop. So that means we're going to be charging. It's not going to be like a showcase. It's going to be an actual, you know, working barbershop that we're going to be setting up there. So if you would like to cut at this event, whether it's doing some extreme makeup, maybe a hairstylist, barber that are heavily tatted, and you would like to come down, you know, maybe we can make money for the day and go get tatted. Then Rue Blaze did that. We had a competition, I believe it was a year ago, but it ended up being, we just made it a pop-up barbershop, and I believe he cut enough money.
Actually, we had it as a showcase, but then people just started paying for haircuts.
Yeah.
And the barbers did very well in a couple of hours.
I know, like I said, I know Rue Blades, it's not like he made enough to pay for a full haircut, but the money that he made went towards getting a tattoo.
Right, that was actually something that just happened. This will go up as a pop-up barbershop at the beginning.
All right, so we get it going. Now, I know you said you have Bodicent and DJ from King of Blades.
Cuts will be there doing braids, and DJ the barber from Kings of Blades will be there.
Yeah, it's always good to see them right there for King of Blades. King of Blades is really doing it up over there in Brookhaven, New York. They're really, you know, got to give it up to, man. Salute to that. And I'd also, again, like to thank Lee for BarberCon, which was 2 weeks ago, but people still talking about it, how it went down, and just the different countries that were there. It was amazing right there. So salute to that. And last thing, salute to all the fathers out there. Had a great time with Clippers Nation at the beach yesterday. We say Clippers Nation because the barbershop, you know, being that we've been cutting hair, I've been doing hair for 19. Ivan the Barber One's been doing hair for like 18 years. We've come across, you know, people that are our friends. We see them in and out of the barbershop. We see them a lot. They'll come up to the shop and just like stop by and have lunch, whatever the case may be. We went to the beach though yesterday. We went to the outer beach over there in Smith Point Beach, Mastic, New York. Great time with the Clipper Nation. And like I was saying, we have a flag football team, a kids flag football team, softball team, volleyball team, and looking to put together a bowling team. Hey, I play softball, and I'm lucky to even just be there. It's been a long season for me, but hopefully I'll come around and everything will get a little bit better. So, that being said, I'd like to also take some time out to ScissorSalute Maestro's Classic. They did it again. They were at Money in the Bank, and they set up a shop there, and they take care of all the wrestlers. Now, that's one of the things that I like about Maestro's Classic is they're bringing men's grooming to different walks of life. You know, so now the fans are watching, you know, these wrestlers get groomed. You got big burly men, and they're worried, you know, getting their beard done, they're getting their haircut, they're looking presentable. Now some of the fans might be like, you know what, I want that haircut that he has. You know, I have long hair, but I noticed that he has, it's shorter right here. I like that because I don't like the hair coming over. So definitely like the ScissorSalute Maestro's Classic. And Nino the Nice and Joel Style 1234 will be in Italy. That's right. Clippers in a dream. You just never thought that the profession would take barbers from the States to go out of country and do hair. Recently, Nino the Nice went back to Chicago because the Money in the Bank was in Chicago. He visited his fam because he is like second or third generation with doing hair, correct? So that's, it's always good to hear. Now,
And he comes from a salon background too, Nino.
yeah. Okay, I'm going to give you guys some advice. Usually I do the pictures, but I didn't get a chance to do the pictures. So next week I'm going to have 6 pictures up to talk about. But I definitely wanted to address the people in the barbershop right now, barbers in the barbershop. What we're going to be seeing now, we're going to be seeing a lot of people coming down and taking their long hair and coming short. I will recently talk about an experience that I had with a friend of mine that I've been doing his hair for a while. I've known him since he was a young lad. He had really, really long hair, and he asked me for a specific style. And it was like an undercut. Just real quick, it's an undercut. And his hair, he had hair like Jesus down at his middle of his back. He wanted an undercut, but it wasn't a tight undercut. So I would say, just so you guys could relate to me, take the 8 guard and come up. I didn't do that. I went with a 4. But one of the reasons why I was able to nail the haircut is the part that I did here to split the disconnect right here on the parietal ridge right here. I kept it really low. And let me tell you something. 19 years I've been doing hair. When I went to stylist hair, I felt like I lost one. Like the sweat. I started sweating. Even he's in my chair like, Eli, what's going on here? I'm like, I don't know. What's going on? I'm Kevin Hart in my head like, what's going on? Barbershop's packed. At this point, the whole point to what I'm saying is, right there, it comes down to communication. Him and I were able to communicate. We came to an agreement. I brought the disconnect part a lot higher, hit it with the 8 guard, hit it with some thinning shears, and together we nailed it. What I'm saying there, and the whole point to what I'm saying is, pay attention to detail when it comes to these long haircuts coming down short. And I'm talking about that because it's going to be happening now. Now you're going to see the people who come for them yearly haircuts may get a number 1 all the way around, and then you might not see them till next year. They just let the hair grow, you know. And I just want to remind everybody it is a live show. So if you're watching the show, underneath my finger right here is the share button. Share the show and put it on your timeline. Right now we're waiting for the guests to arrive. I'm going to be taking a couple phone calls. So we just go to the chat room real quick on the show. See who's up in there. So we'd like to salute Dante Stevenson. And here's another announcement for the BBA, the Barber and Beauty Association, right here. So we've been talking about securing your livelihood through the BBA. What I mean by that, it helps you with life insurance. It also helps you as a retirement plan. It also helps you with education. So what I mean by that is, you know, you're going to go to your educators that you want to go to. The BBA is going to have educators that's going to give discount prices to go to their classes. Or it might take care of the class through the BBA, what you're paying for. But I just found out the BBA is also going to give you a code on top of that. This code you're going to be able to use for simple things like the movies. Yeah. It's also going to help you with hotels. The BBA is going to have partnerships with hotels that are going to offer you discounts to hotel stays.
And I actually looked into that. It actually is active right now. It does work.
So that's a good thing. And for the ladies, maternity leave. I mean, in our profession, it's a little bit hard. You know, I know when I'm not in the shop, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are like that, you're thinking about money. You're thinking about the money that you're missing out on. So I can't even think what a female in our profession goes through when they have to do maternity leave. But the BBA is here to change all of that. Got anything you want to add from the BBA?
No, basically, you know, the ScissorSalute and Dante Financial are working really close with the BBA because, you know, it's like you always say, the education in the school, it teaches you how to make the money now for you to have the money to survive, support your family, you know, but what he's looking to bring is a way that you could retire with wealth. It's a big difference between retiring with money and retiring with wealth. And retirement wealth means your kids are going to have money, you know, helping your whole family prepare for their future as well as
Do we have the picture of the BBA there?
Nah, not yet.
Okay, so next week we're definitely going to get a little bit more.
Next
we're
week.
I don't know if Dante's obviously not coming tonight.
No, not tonight. He won't be here. But next week will actually be a special BBA episode where he'll be talking about some of the people he's working with in the BBA.
All right, we're going to take this phone call here on the ScissorSalute Show. Remember, it's a live show, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Hello, you're live in air with the ScissorSalute Show.
Hey, Eli, how are ya?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good.
Okay, so we have
ScissorSalute.
ScissorSalute. So we have Kate Owens on the line. She's calling in from Florida.
Hi, you guys. Kate
Owens, we're
Skyping from Bonita Springs, Florida.
Oh, we're Skyping, and you got your banner in the background.
I do. ScissorSalute taught me all about branding. This is Hannah Wagner. She's my front desk coordinator.
And how is the new? Remember last time we spoke? We congratulated you on the Paul Mitchell thing, which just happened like maybe 3 hours before the show.
That's
and
right.
We was going over what we're going to talk about, and she's like, "Wow!" And you switched the format to the salon. How has it been changing that format? A new format. You said you was going to go over maybe renting, and then they split the 60-40. How's that working out for you?
Well, I actually have one of my stylists right here on the side. She's like cheering. She's so excited. I want to be really honest and transparent with you. In the beginning, I was really fearful that my entire commission salon was going to say, I want to be rental, I want a suite, I want a booth. It didn't happen like that. Some girls decided to do suite rental. Some girls decided to do booth rental. Some girls and guys decided to do hourly. And I want to tell you that I have, out of all my suites, one chair left that's open.
Nice. You see, so the point for me bringing that up is, as you get older in this profession, even myself, change is, it's scary. Change is scary, so whether you've been doing it for a while and you're comfortable at your establishment, the place of business that you work at, and you're just scared to make that move, you really have to take a step back and observe. And it's just great that you shared the story with us, because it does take a lot to make the adjustment to what's new. And in our profession, it's growing, like it's changing almost daily. It's changing daily.
That's right. That's right. And if you're comfortable, get uncomfortable if you want to grow.
Oh, look at you dropping gems now, huh?
Yeah.
Dropping them.
I bring it like that, Eli. I just do.
And we got Sephiroth's mic'd up too.
Hey.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Kate?
What's going on? Scissor Salute.
Good, good. It's just weird because I can't see you because the way I'm positioned in the studio, I don't have the TV in front of me.
Okay.
Yeah, you know
all
him.
right.
He doesn't like to show his face anyway, so.
But I do want to thank you for calling in tonight. And I remember when Kate first told me about her whole idea of how she has her suite set up where you pretty much every flavor of ice cream. You know, if you want to do booth, if you want to do commission, you know, and I told you, Kate, I thought that was a wonderful idea, and it's great to see that it's been so successful for you.
Yeah, it really has. Really has. Thank you.
But I do know that you're calling tonight for a reason, so we definitely want to get into that reason why you're calling in tonight.
So I don't know, has Freddy been on yet tonight?
No,
at
Freddy
all?
will be calling a little bit later, but I already spoke with him, and he'll be calling in as well.
Okay, great. So anybody that knows me knows that I have used my platform behind the chair and my platform as a mentor to spread autism awareness. It's something that's very close to my heart. I'm not going to cry, but I have 5 sons, and my youngest son 2 years ago was diagnosed with right under severe autism. And it absolutely rocked my world. It brought my family and I to our knees. I didn't know anything about disabilities. I didn't know a lot about autism. And I didn't want to share what I thought was a tragedy. But now I want to tell you, 2 years later, after intensive therapy, hours of ABA therapy, it's no longer a tragedy. It's a triumph. My son went from a 10% quality of life to 80% quality of life.
Nice.
Thank you. And we I believe raised an autism level. And during this journey, I had no idea what parents were going through. I might have been one of the ladies at the grocery store looking down my nose while a child with autism was having a meltdown. And because I was unknowledgeable and naive, I didn't know what these parents and what these kids go through. Now, it was hard for us. For 6 months, we couldn't take my son out of the house because just going out of the house was too much sensory-wise for him. I had no idea how hard it is for these kids to get haircuts. That started our mission, was that we wanted to create a space here at my salon. Because I'm the boss lady, I can do whatever I want sometimes. But I wanted to create a safe space for these kids to get haircuts and a safe place for these parents. Because I know how I felt going into stores and having my son have no dignity because people would assume he's this or that because sensory-wise he couldn't handle it. So we made our place autism and sensory friendly. What that means is we just got educated and we got schooled up and we started to make some changes. And I want this salon, my salon, to be a place where a little guy or a little girl with autism leaves and feels good. And the parents don't have to feel ashamed and feel more defeated than when they came in. And I also don't want these kids to look as different as they feel. A girl told me, I'm going to talk about my friend Jessica. She's let me talk about her and her son Connor, and I don't want to take up a bunch of time. But the way she said it was so perfect. Her son has autism. He had long hair like Tarzan, she said. And my son could only ask for things like this. So you have hair covering your eyes and that's how you're asking for your needs. So not only did he look like Tarzan, these kids sometimes sound so different. And she said she was asked to leave, not one, but 2 salons. They were asked to leave because of his behavior. We changed that at Kate's Cuts, my salon, my staff. I had a girl that dressed up like a dog. She dressed up like a dog. She dressed up like a cat. She dressed up like Mrs. Claus. Every time this little man came in to get his hair cut, we made it a nice experience for him. And my son, who's a student, did a nasty fade on him a month ago with clippers. This child sat in the seat. He got clippers because we invested the time. It took 6 months, but what's 6 months in the grand scheme of things? So we've created that. I put it out there to the universe that we want to make a difference. We want to make a change. We want to educate barbers, educate salon professionals, educate parents on how to make this a successful experience for everybody. And then we got a phone call. And it's only due to hashtags and social media that we got a phone call from Freddy. You can hold up his book. Freddy in New York City. He is an ABA therapist. He is he works in the New York school system for special needs. And he called our salon because he said he was having a hard time finding autism and sensory processing disorder friendly barbershops and hair salons, and ours came up first. We were the first name that came up, and I don't think it's because we're the most trained on it or talented on it. I think it's because right now we're showing the most heart, and we've got the most want to in it. And so we talked with Freddy. He said he was tired of his kids. That's how he described it. His kids getting kicked out of barbershops and salons because he's working with these families. ABA teaches families and kids how to get through day to day, little things that everybody else takes for granted. So he said he's tired of his kids getting kicked out of hair salons. So he asked if my entire staff would be willing to come up to New York City, do a 3-day campaign creating a safe place for kids with autism to get haircuts.
Salute to that. It's definitely great to hear, especially for your staff to, get that invite. Goes to show you that there's a lot of camaraderie there. Everyone's on the same page. And being that everybody's on the same page and steps up and goes the extra length, I know if I was there to get a phone call from someone that's in New York or even just out of state, but, New York, and then, wow, we recognize what you guys are doing up here, we would like you to come out. And just like you said, through social media, through the hashtags, the connection was made. For the viewers that are watching, that is the importance of using the hashtags the right way. I always say it, there's 30 hashtags. And it is great to be reposted on other repost pages. At them. You can add them on the picture, and you tap on the picture and you can at them, or you can mention them. You don't really have to use their hashtag to be reposted. You could get their attention that way. You should focus more on meaningful hashtags. And when you get that phone call, what's going through your mind, Kate? Because, you've been getting these phone calls. Now you're getting phone calls. Paul Mitchell, now getting calls from Freddie in New York.
I got to be honest with you. I got to shout out to Renee Mirth because she was here on Memorial Day answering the phone. And she took the call. And she said she usually pretends to be me. But this was a time she didn't want to pretend to be me. And I was driving when she called me, and we both were sobbing because never did I think that it would go this big. Never. Never. And shout out to Brenna Barthol.
Hold up.
She is
what's
my
her name?
social media
What's her name?
coordinator.
What's her name again?
Scissor salute to you, Brenna.
There we go.
And scissor salute to Haley Goodlad, because she pushed me out of my comfort zone and said, we need to do autism haircuts.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned it. Nino the Nice, we was just talking about him earlier in the show. People have come on the show and we've been like, hey, you got videos that you want to share, send it to us and we'll put it on. Nino the Nice actually sent us a video of how to approach cutting kids with autism. Now, one of the things is, and we do it, it's funny because when he was talking about it, I'm like, oh, we do that at the shop. We do that even with kids, but with kids that are autistic, it's helpful. If you're going to be using clippers, you turn on the clippers, let them touch the clipper. Put the clipper on them to let them know that it's not going to hurt them.
Absolutely. I'll give them the clippers and say, hey, want to cut your dad's hair?
Yeah, and then they're also sensitive to smell, so they might want a specific gel.
So am I.
You might want a specific gel. I know a couple of the kids that we cut in the shop that are autistic, they love the gummy gel. It smells like strawberries. Or, the Elegance Blue. And now the Immortal hair waxes. I don't know if you guys come across them, Immortal hair waxes, the red one. The kids, they're loving the different flavors. So flavorful products, flavor-scented products. And one of the things that I would advise is you're on the clock. You're on the clock when you're cutting kids, regardless. You're on the clock. Kid comes in a chair, the attention span is really, really low. Like, they can only be still for so long. So I'm definitely going to advise you to focus on the canvas in front of you, and you might not want to talk to your co-workers just for the time being, because you really have to lock in.
Right.
You don't want
I recommend that I talk to the parent first, and I recommend that they come in before we even open. And I'll usually give myself an hour, so I'm not rushed. It's quiet in the salon. I'll ask the parent, what are their preferred items? They like balloons? No problem. What is it for me to stop and get a $2 balloon if that's going to save the haircut? And I personally don't do a lot of restrictions. They don't like the cape, we don't wear the cape. You don't want to sit in the chair, I'll cut you on the floor. You want to run around, and this is just me. I just have to speak my truth. You want to run around while no one's here, and I'll follow you with my clipper? Hey, whatever it takes, that child is not screaming, crying when they leave and they associate me with fun, eventually I will get you in that chair.
Yeah,
it may not be the first time. It may take a year. I'll get you in that chair eventually, because I'm going to pair with them. And that's an ABA word, but I'm going to pair with them and I'm going to make them fall in love with me.
So it's great that you're sharing this. Now, what are the chances that are you guys coming up to New York City? Are you going to be coming up?
Oh, there's no chances. We're going to make this happen. And I appreciate you so much for having us on Scissor Salute, because we need some help. We're putting the call out to you guys now. If this is going to be a 3-day event, I don't have enough. There's not enough of us probably for the amount of kids that are going to need haircuts. So we need barbers. We need stylists. We don't even have a place to do this yet. We don't even have a host salon or a hotel to offer us a conference room. We just have the will and the heart to get up there. We're actually fundraising for 20 of us for airfare to get up there.
So what do you guys have? It's like a GoFundMe?
We have a GoFundMe, and then we're selling puzzle pieces here at the shop. We have our own personal GoFundMe to get Kate's Cuts crew to New York. And then Freddy, that you guys are going to meet tonight, he has another GoFundMe called Liam's Life.
Okay, so what is the GoFundMe for Kate's Cuts?
The GoFundMe for Kate's Cuts is going to finance, I don't need a plane ticket. I can purchase my own plane ticket, but some of these professionals are new. Like Hannah. Hannah's new in the hair world. She is my front desk coordinator. How old are you?
20.
She's 20. she wants to go with us. She doesn't, she can't afford the money for the tickets. So it is under, what's the link?
I got it right here. Give me one.
Brittany has the link.
But it's also important for like kids with autism and stuff, like even if you don't cut hair, like having someone to sit there and help distract them, or like you said, like play Thomas the Train with them while Kate has the scissors to their head, or show them blocks or different things like that. We've had a couple kids in there that love the water guns and
the spray bottles.
Yeah, water gun spray bottles.
So I was cutting a little kid's hair, and every time one of the girls walked in the morning, I said, "Oh, good morning. Could we see you for a second?" And as the stylist leaned in to talk to me, he sprayed them with the spray bottle, and he loved it. And when this kid left, he said to his mom, "When do I get to go back?" And the mom was crying because she's never had a good experience at a hair salon before.
Yeah, and I could relate. I had one client. His son was autistic, and I used to do the same thing. Try to get them in there earlier, and his kid was good, but sometimes it'd be a little difficult. And I give it up to these parents because they're worried about other people. Like he would tell me, I'm worried about the other customer, people not feeling right. And we'd be like, we're not really concerned with that in the shop. We're not concerned with how others are really feeling at the place where I work. We want everybody to feel good and stuff, but if people can't relate to that, then, I mean, you're going to be in the wrong place, honestly, because we're all parents.
It brings tears to my eyes because there are some people that just don't know about autism, and sometimes I've seen it. It won't happen at my shop, and I hope it doesn't happen at any of y'all's.
Oh no, like I said, an establishment that we work, well, a lot of us we're all parents. A lot of us are parents, so sometimes even with regular kids, and the parents I could see their face, and they're just like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm looking at them like, I'm a parent. I'm a parent too. So there's really no need to apologize.
I tell guests all the time, don't worry about it. I say, I have 5 boys, so if I don't hear yelling and fist fighting, I don't feel normal.
Yeah, so there was only one kid that beat me in my 19 years. One kid. And
really?
One kid, I have a policy. Once I start the haircut, I'm finishing. That's my policy. But I lost him. Strong kid. Wow, he was strong. But he just he started sweating like profusely. And, the parent was like, "Oh, can you give him a taper, edge him up, and take care of his eyebrows?" I'm like, that's hard. Yeah, I was.
And I tell the parents, when I'm on the phone, and I say, my goal is to provide the best experience the first time. So I'm going to give you my word that this might not be the best looking haircut. Because for these kids with autism, it's about what they associate the experience with, not the haircut. So when they see me for the second time and they think of laughing and fun and the spray bottle and little cars on the floor, and instead of their dad holding them in a bear hug and them screaming their head off, that's the difference. If they're being held like that and screaming, that's going to be the next thing they think of when they see me that second time. So I tell the parent, it might not be the best haircut, but I promise you, if you stick with me and we work together, he will have a great haircut soon. Yes. And it'll get easier and easier every time.
Well, again, it's somewhat. We have a guest in here tonight. I talked to him briefly before the show, and he's been doing hair 8 years, and in 8 years he already owns an establishment. Right? And he's going on his 3rd year having an event. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I told him, I was like, wow, you're ambitious. It's the same thing I see with you. This is the difference between, what you're doing as far as your approach to 2018. And you're being rewarded. You've been rewarded through the Paul Mitchell receiving that award. That, what'd you say, only 7 people in the world get that award?
12.
12. Okay. I don't have no notes in front of me. You know, it's a live show. I have no notes. I'm just going off of, our discussion and how much it meant to hear that. It just goes to show you're going above and beyond. No real establishment is trying to do what you're doing to, whether it's catering to a certain type of client and going the extra lengths as, costumes and trying to figure out different techniques to make it work. And it's just going to show you. And just like the gentleman he's actually the model sitting down, sometimes you're just so busy doing what you're doing, you don't recognize what you're doing. You have no time to pause and be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I accomplished this. Yeah, we did this. Yeah, we did this. So I'll just salute yourself and Easy, I believe. Easy?
Yeah, that's Easy_Cuts.
Okay, Easy_Cuts. I'll salute both of you guys because it's about ambition. So Kate, go ahead. You got something to say?
Yeah, Kate, I just want to ask you real quick, back to the event with Freddy.
Yes.
Do you have an idea of how many volunteers you'll be looking for in terms of barbers and hairstylists?
As many want to show up. Because I guarantee you we'll have more kids than we expect. Because a lot of kids are affected by autism and sensory processing disorders, and I don't think there's enough of us brave enough to learn and want to do. And Eli, you gonna cut with us? I'm calling.
Do you guys have a date?
No, Freddie might know.
It's gonna be before school starts up there with you guys, so these kids don't have to start school looking as different as they feel.
All right, so we get the date going. And I'm going to be there on the date. I'll be there cutting hair.
We love that. And we need barbers. We need stylists. We need a place to do this, you guys.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for calling in, Kate. Before we let you go, as you know, we'd like you to share with us how people can get in contact with you. Mention the GoFundMe pages and all your social media information that you'd like to share with us, and your workers that are there with you too. They could do the same. Please do so now. The stage is yours.
Okay, beautiful. Hi, you guys. Kate Owens, Kate's Cuts. Phone number 239-947-5283. Or Kate. Kate's Cuts at live.com is our email. Facebook is
Kate's Cuts.
Instagram is
Kate's Cuts.
And my Instagram personally is Kate I Love Hair. On Facebook, I'm Kate Tuttle Owens. You guys will see the links for the event. If you want to donate, if you want to know more, reach out to me. We need your help. Definitely. Thank you guys. Scissor salute and have a happy hair night and day.
Well, thank you so much. Scissor salute to you and good luck in everything you're doing. And I'll see you on the day of that event.
You guys got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, so they're here. It took a while, but he's here. Now, showcasing right now, we got John the Barber right there showcasing John the Barber J. And that is Jon. And he's cutting Easy the Barber. Was it Easy? E-D. E-G. Come on, you guys are killing me right here. Sephro, you should have that written down. Well, he's getting his hair cut. And don't miss out, Sunday, July 29th, the 3rd annual Jersey Shore Barber Battle. Your host, Showtime C, which I seen him at the BarberCon. I'd like to salute the lineup, Inc. They're all living the brolic life. Everybody I seen lost like a substantial amount of weight. So salute to the lineup, Inc. And they're also having a boat event that's going to be coming up. And from Woo Cuts Ambitious Angelo. It'll be freestyle design, traditional and beard, fast fade, female barber, fade and beard, man bun braiding. So you're going to have a man bun braiding competition. I got my money on Bonita Cuts. If he can make it there, I got my money on him. So yeah, you know what? Keep the camera off of me. They want to see the haircuts on EG. So yeah, come over here, just slide that. So, and again, that's going to be the Jersey Shore Barber Battle. Follow us on Instagram, Jersey Shore Barber Battle. To register, go to jsbarberbattle.eventbrite.com. Again, jsbarberbattle.eventbrite.com. General admission is going to be $30. Competition starts from 3:30 to 8:30. Register online. There's going to be cash prizes, trophies, products, giveaways. Excuse me. It'll be hair competition, networking, showcase, exhibitors. Going to be a lot of stuff going on here. And there's going to be live performances as well. So again, and I'll say it's powered by EG Cuts, Agadir Men, Caliber, National Barbers Association. Oh, they went back to the gold, huh? Suavecito, Swagger Blade, and the Kings of the Craft. And what is that? Laddie's Barbershop? Laddie's. And EG Barbershop. I like the logo, EG, for the barbershop. So again, that's gonna. And I talked to him, and we was talking to Kate Cuts, and sometimes people just don't realize because they're just working so hard. They don't realize the stuff that they accomplished. You know, I said it again with Justo the barber, Justo the hair assassin that works at Jedi Barbershop. 3 years he's been doing hair. He's a master barber and already has the title as an educator at Bosie's. I'd also like to scissor salute Monty from Monty's Barbershop. And something that you guys don't know, I got to talk to Lee. This has got to go on Barbershop Connect. William Floyd High School. Again, William Floyd High School has a barber school inside of it. We're talking about a high school. And it has a barbershop inside of it. And Monty is the teacher. He went from an instructor to now a teacher in what I believe, I'm safe to say, and I'm going to say it, the first ever barber school in high school. I never heard about that. It's 5 years we've been doing the show. I think we might have been able to hear about it if it happened. So, again, just scissor saluting the ambitious people out there, the people that, you know, going the extra lengths. And Monty's was actually cutting at the Masters in Shinnecock Hills. Yeah, he was cutting hair. He said, you know what, I'm going to do this for free. So he was out there cutting hair on the golf course. I'm pretty sure he was getting tipped because golf is not cheap. Unless the golfers are cheap. But anyway, the point is that he was cutting at Shinnecock Hills and salute to Monty's Barbershop. Yeah, I said it. I know the Jedi Barbershop like, man, what? Come on, man. But, you know, real recognize real. That's just it. Okay, so sitting next to me now, we have Jaime Lynn. You could just keep the camera on our guest because I'm just looking for something right now. What happened here? There we go. So again, that's John the Barber, Jay, showcasing. He made the trip. He made it. Let me tell you something. Going from New Jersey to New York is no joke, right?
Nightmare.
It's nightmare. You could that's pretty much it. Then to try to make it in the afternoon, it's worse. I'm gonna say it's worser. It's not even a word, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say worser. And you like Eli, you know that's not a word. I know it's not a word, but that's how bad it is. Getting through that traffic, you want to make up your own type of words. You want to be like, man, this is worse, man. This is whatever. Okay, so sitting next to me, Jaime Lynn, barber, hair, just all around. Jamie, when did you know that this is what you wanted to do?
Well, I went to college first. I was a fine arts major. I did my first year. I liked it. It wasn't really... I couldn't see myself doing something for the rest of my life career-wise with a fine arts degree, right? I mean, it's a very broad spectrum, but the art was there. I knew that. So I dormed, and I used to have all the soccer girls, all my friends from my classes come over. I was doing everyone's extensions, everyone's hair, everyone's braids before games. So I said, why not go to school for this? At least if I do stay in college, I'll be able to do this on the side, make extra cash.
And pay for the college.
Exactly, make it a weekend thing. So I did beauty school, and I was really inspired. I went to Capri up in Paramus, New Jersey, and there was this teacher, Miss Patty, and Scissor salute to Miss Patty. She always spoke about platform artistry, and she showed us a lot of different people who showcased, and we had Freestyle Fridays, and she would bring on all these new people in the industry, that just local people that she knew that were talented, and it was really inspiring to me. So I took it and I ran with it, and I started out hard doing female hair for about the first 6-7 years, and then I stumbled upon a men's place in Hoboken that was a full female staff, which I thought that was pretty cool. When I was at my first salon, they had a lot of education going on, so I told them my weakest point was men's haircuts. So they educated on me weekly for months and months, until I was literally doing every man that walked through the door at that point. So that's when I decided, well, maybe I'll run with the barbering thing. So I got my hands into Hoboken, and I had a good 10-year run there. And now I'm just doing my thing in North Arlington with Vic. Shout out to Jack's Chop Shop.
Scissor salute to you. Chop Shop. Scissor salute.
Scissor salute.
She's new to the show. She's new, but it's okay. See how she was able to come back.
That's right. Scissor salute to Jack's Chop Shop. Vic is a good friend of mine. That's actually how I met my boyfriend, Jonathan the barber.
Oh, look, and it's like hair is in the air.
Hair is in the air.
Hair love.
Yeah, he's family friends with the owner of my shop now. So John did a design and fade class for us, and that's where I met him about a little over 2 years ago now, and we've been going strong ever since.
And it's funny, one of the things, if you could go LA, if you could switch over to the haircut so you could see, one of the things I noticed about John is how humble he is when he came down here to the show. Very humble, easy to talk to, and we need more of that when it comes to education. That's what One Bad Mother Cutter called up and was talking about. Like some of the people that are educating, they're going, basically, she's not saying that they're fooling themselves, but it tends to happen. Yeah. And it's, you got to stay humble. So now you made the transition from hairstyling to barbering. What can you say that you brought from hairstyling to barbering, and you're able to still do that when it comes to barbering?
So there's a lot of things that I learned doing female hair that I do incorporate with my clients now, which is why I think my work, that's what stands my work out from anyone else. Coloring, for example. For some reason, coloring is becoming huge with men's hair right now. And I've been getting a lot of guys coming in, I see some guys walking on the streets like zebra hair and dark stripes everywhere. They want more of that natural sun-kissed look, the same thing women want. So balayage, freehand highlighting. So that I learned in a salon atmosphere, and I had brought that to the barbershop. So I use a lot of high-lift color in there just to add dimension to my haircuts, make them move a little bit more, make them stand out, and it works. I post it, I write about it. My clients are walking ads themselves, so word spreads quick. They come in, and that's become like my big forte at my place now is coloring for men. Okay,
now you're well-rounded, going from hairstyling to barbering. Let me ask you this hairstyling question first, or something that we mentioned earlier when we talked before the show, that we ask people what's their favorite thing, and they'll say, updos. Then it comes down to coloring. And even color correction gets brought up when it comes to coloring. Other people say vivids. Your thing was transformations. You like the extreme transformations, going from long to short. What is it about that transformation that makes you be like, this is what I love right here. This is my favorite.
There's a lot of different things I love about that. I love that they come in as one person physically, they're leaving as another. I feel like when someone does such a drastic haircut, it's usually for a good reason, whether it's some liberating I just broke up with someone haircut, or if it's I just need an overall change. It's nice to make people feel better about themselves, and especially going from like long to short. There has to be a sense of confidence to carry a short haircut as a woman.
Do you try to advise them to say, hey, you know, do you want to come in on a couple visits and we'll gradually get to this point before we go to the extreme? Or it's just I'm locked in, you know, that, you know, because some customers in the chair like, nope, this is what I want. Woke up and it's just like, man, you know, okay, here we go, which I've done before. And then they're like, I should have listened to you.
I mean, I feel like that's something you have to feel out, right, as the stylist behind the chair. If there's a lot of I don't knows, or the pictures, for example, I always tell them bring pictures for inspiration. If the pictures are very far-fetched from each other and they're not coinciding, it's not the same style, it makes me think that they're a little unsure exactly what exactly they want. So I try to meet them halfway, a little bit from what they're showing me to what I think would work best. And yes, I'll have them come back maybe for a second visit if they want to take it up, which is usually the case. Usually talk them out of doing the real drastic haircut first and do something a little less dramatic and then work our way to the overall result. But I feel like they're running back before the appointment, like, I love it, I want to go shorter. So
now, okay, you said the transformation. Is it more like, okay, so here goes, big transformation. What do you prefer to do, asymmetrical bob, or you like that pixie cut?
I like that pixie cut. It's a little more edgy and it's a little more freedom with razors. I'm a big razor user, so I like the fact. I mean, there's something beautiful about an asymmetrical bob, but I think
that's my favorite.
I think the pixie's a little more fun for me. I feel like I have a little more freedom. You don't need such straight lines. You don't need such uniform partings. It's a little more edgy, a little more fun. Not
that I've done an asymmetrical bob, but as a fan of hair, that's what I like to see in that sharp line. Even when they go as far as to leave, I don't know what they call it. I call them horns in the front when they leave the front.
The long pieces in the front.
Yeah, they leave them really long. Okay, now when it comes to barbering, again, we've asked people and be like, "What do you like about barbering?" And you don't tell me you like to do everything. So we try to break it down: low skin fade, beard, razor. You said the shears.
Yeah.
So tell us why the shears. Maybe even share with us a story, that you had with the shears. And barbers, we're good with the shears. Some of us better than others, but tell us about it.
The shears are my favorite, I think. I like that longer, more business type of haircut. Not saying that you can't get a tight haircut with a scissor, which I think is a lot of a big misunderstanding in the barber community. I hear from a lot of even the barbers I work with, why waste your time using a shear when a clipper is made to give you a precise haircut in a shorter amount of time.
Yep.
Which I understand, but there's something about the grow out with scissors that's a little bit different than a buzzer. Buzzers is cutting everything the same length. Scissors is giving it a little bit more of an edge on the ends of the hair there. So I feel like the grow out's a little softer. And not everyone's head's a perfect round circle, except mine. I'm a C-section baby, so my head's perfectly round head. But people have bumps, lumps, all different types of stuff going on their scalp. So
can't forget about the pound puppies.
Yeah, exactly, the pound puppies. So a buzz cut is not always suiting for everyone. The same length all over. Sometimes you need to leave certain areas lighter or darker to give it a more of a uniform look, so you're not seeing spots. So I feel like I can achieve that look better using scissors rather than a buzzer.
And you say you like using razors, so there's a lot of texture. Do you feel like you get a lot more gentlemen asking for texturizing the hair? Because I know if I need to educate myself on some razor, I probably lean to get more people that want that texturizing on top, because you're starting to see that a whole lot more. So salute to Mike Custom Cuts. You check his page. He has a lot of texturizing haircuts on his page. You getting that?
100%. My Custom Cuts is one of my biggest idols. His cuts are spot on, and that's exactly it. His whole style of that heavy top, but it still looks weightless when he finishes his styles. I think that's a lot of that achieving is coming through razor work. So I agree with that. I think the razor work is nice finishing details for haircuts, especially for if those that are taking the time to actually style their hair.
You said you went to college for art?
I did.
Do you feel like, being that you went to college for art, obviously you have love for art, do you feel like that helped you with hair almost to accomplish what you vision in your head? I always say it on the show, before you start doing hair, one of the best skills that you want to have is knowing the difference between the good and bad, and then it's going to take repetition to get that hand and eye coordination. Back to the question, do you feel like the art helped you with that, to achieve that, the vision in your head and then the hand and eye coordination?
1,000%. I mean, just even from the history of being in school and learning about art, pieces are inspiring. You know, you see it all over Instagram now. People are getting their inspiration from a sunset for some sort of creative coloring, or, you know, a beautiful picture of a snowy night to get some dark tones and some blues in the hair. Like that's the most inspiring thing to me. Instead of going off someone else's hair color that's already done, is to create something yourself, do it, freestyle it, use your imagination, and use the art as the inspiration. So I do definitely think that helped big time. And I was a big painter, so I think that has a lot to do with my love for balayage, just the freehand and the movement. I have a very light hand.
That's a lot of money to balayage too.
It is.
Looking at balayage bucks.
balayage bucks.
I said it because, you know, we have so much people coming here to talk about color, and one of the main things they'll have on their page, they'll have the Vivids fantasy, the unicorn mermaid theme going on. You get a lot of likes with that, but the money seems to be the theme is the color correction.
Yeah.
Correcting the color. Maybe a client wasn't able to afford you, so they went to someone cheaper, and they get to really see why you charge what you charge, and now you have to do that color correction. And then the maintenance on like a balayage. So you get the balayage done. How often do they come back for maintenance?
Well, that's the beauty of being in the barber shop. A lot of my clients for the balayage right now are men, so I'm seeing them about every month and a half, only because the grow out with the haircut is...
Yay. Now, you do men's grooming.
Yes.
You also do hairstyling.
Yes.
Big question, and you live in the ScissorSalute life. You live that ScissorSalute life. How do you go about maintaining who you're cutting, when you're cutting? What is the schedule looking like?
So we use Booksy, so most of my guys are booking themselves through the app. As for my female clients, I always keep my email and my cell phone link in my bio. So they're reaching out personally, and balance-wise, so I'm not killing myself working 7 days a week, I'll look at my schedule on a week base, and whatever day is looking a little bit slower, I'll throw a female client in the morning, or I'll throw a female client at the end and try to push all my male clients up earlier in the day and stay a little later to finish the color. Just so I could fit everybody in a timely manner. But I never say no. That's one thing I won't do. If I have to make a house call, I'll definitely make the house call if you know the price is right.
Okay, so now, you know, basically, again, we're interviewing Jaime Lynn here on the ScissorSalute Show. IG is its_Jaime Lynn from the Chop Shop?
Yes, Jack's Chop Shop.
Jack's Chop Shop. And, you know, just getting you, the viewers, a little bit more familiar with her. Now, I just wanted to go over a couple other things because it seems to be a theme here when everyone's talking about professionalism, you know, their appearance in the shop, you know, the music in the shop. You know, ScissorSalute to Trim's Barbershop, I believe 2 weeks ago, they talked about, you know, how the certain music they play in there, and they like to be presentable, certain language they're using there, and communication skills. You know, here it goes. You got the time to get it. Go ahead. Talk about it, Jaime. Get it off your chest.
So I saw something this morning, that's what made me bring it up to you, from Mari DeMonte, MDM Grooming. ScissorSalute to her. She's a sheer genius. She had posted about the little things in our daily lives that add up to the big results, right? So what you're looking like in the shop. If you're rolling out of bed, throwing on sweatpants and a t-shirt to go cut your clients, like, it's not the greatest look. If you have new people walking in your shop to inquire about coming in for a haircut, if they see you looking like that, I know I personally wouldn't want you touching my head. So it's important. Take care of yourself. Be the billboard you want to see. You know, you gotta walk it like you talk it.
Write that down. Be the billboard you want to see. Walking like you talk.
And that's right. So it's little things like that. And then even expanding your business. I try to make it a point to tell at least 2 people I don't know that I'm a barber. So 2 people I've never met before now know what I do for a living. If someone says, oh, I need a haircut. Oh, I met this chick, Jaime. She does hair. It's all about branding yourself, right? So that's the easiest way to expand yourself and brand yourself, is to tell at least 2 new people a day that you are a barber.
So you basically talk about fundamentals right there.
Yeah.
Basic fundamentals.
A little 101 for them.
Yeah, a little 101. You know what? Sometimes people need to hear it. Again, I know there's barbers watching the show. I don't care about my appearance. You know, my clients know about my cut and et cetera, whatever you want to say. The point that I'm hearing and I'm seeing is, what happens if a new customer walks in, heard that you cut hair good or whatever, but they see your appearance and they don't even want to go into the shop. They don't even want to check the 3rd or 4th barber in the shop because they walked in and they seen you. And you're sitting there with your apron on or whatever, looking like you crawled out of bed or whatever. So I'm going to suggest, and again, it seems to be the theme. It's always been the theme, but it seems to be what's being talked about on the show for the past 4 or 5 episodes, is the team camaraderie. Everybody coming together on some sort. Like we just heard Kate Owens talking about the change that she made, the different option that she gave to her workers to, booth rent and commission and everything. There's, everyone has choices there. But what she did also was bring everybody a lot closer. Not everyone's going all out to do what needs to be done to cater to a certain crowd. The point that I'm saying is, maybe the owners of these businesses that do hair, if you're not having meetings, if everyone can't get together to have meetings, maybe you should have one-on-ones to really get into, to talk to the people that work at your establishment, get to know them a little bit better and hear what they have to say. Group meetings are great, but certain people hold back because they don't want to put the next person on blast. Yeah. They also might not want to say anything because they just want to leave. They just want to get out of the meeting. So it all depends how you're going to go about it, whether it's one-on-one meetings or group meeting. You definitely need to communicate with the people inside your establishment, especially those that go off a commission, because a commission barber always says, I pay you rent, I should be able to come and go as I please, just worry about the rent. I disagree with that. And I don't even own an establishment. I believe you work someone's place, it's like an apartment. You're leasing the availability to cut at their establishment. That booth is yours. So you rent from someone, you rent an apartment from someone. That means you don't clean the apartment because you're renting the apartment. That means you don't, I don't know. If it snows, you're not going to get out there and shovel the walkway so you can have access to get in and out the apartment. The point that what I'm making is you also got to treat where you work, especially if you're paying commission, whatever, like it means something. And you will see the difference. I like the basic fundamentals, like you said. Be the billboard that you want to see, and walk it like you talk it. I like that. And you said another gem. That's the one that came up. Another gem. Hopefully it comes back. But thank you so much for coming over here.
Thank you for having me.
Doing the interview part of the show. Before we let you go, please let everybody know how they can get in contact with you. And all your social media information that you would like to share with us, please do so now. This stage is yours.
Alrighty, so my Instagram handle is its_Jaime Lynn. That's JAIMELYNN. Same thing on Facebook. It's Jaime Lynn, the Barber Beauty. And on my Instagram, you'll find a link to my blog. So check that out. It's being revamped right now. See a lot of good stuff on there, all related to the industry. So I'm excited for that.
It just came back. Make sure you tell 2 different people that you don't know that you do hair.
That's right.
If you do that, you get 14 people a week, you're telling.
That's right.
And let's break it down to numbers. Out of them 14, hopefully if you can get 2 or 3 of them to come down, it's still 2 or 3 more heads that didn't know that you did hair. So salute to that. Let's get back to what John's doing right here. I don't know if you could zoom in there. What's going on there? What's being said there?
Looks like he's doing a little
some lettering. It looks
some
like
Asbury Park for the Jersey Shore barber battle. He's doing a little billboard for it, it seems.
Okay, so if you're watching the show right now, we got John, the Barber J, showcasing. He did the outline with a set of trimmers. Now, when you're using the trimmers, you want to use, when it comes to doing detailed designs, you want to use the corner blade like it's a pencil. Now, you got to remember, you're not putting stuff on the canvas, you're removing from the canvas. So you always want to keep that in mind, what is going on. And what is he doing right now? He's using the straight edge razor to really make it stand out and pop. Hello, you're live on the air with the ScissorSalute Show. Who's this?
Hi, this is Freddy Ocasio.
Freddy, what's going on?
Nothing much. Thank you for having me on your show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, thank you for calling up to the show. Now, let everybody know why you're calling and the name of the event. Go ahead. This is your time.
All right, great. Thank you. I'm calling because I'm the president of a nonprofit organization which is called Life With Autism, and our organization, what we're all about is we're trying to spread autism awareness. You know, there's a lot of groups out there that deals with autism awareness, but what makes us different from any other nonprofit organization is that, you know, we try to provide people with the facts of what autism awareness is, you know, and not just the facts. We provide them with insight in terms of what it feels like to live with autism. You know, a lot of people have heard of what autism is, but, you know, they don't really know too much about what autism is. So, you know, we provide free resources, books, we provide free trainings. We do different events, which is completely for free. We pick up the tab, Life with Autism, you know, insist on paying for everything. And our next event, which is coming up in September, we're having a back-to-school event for all children with autism, whereas we have a barbershop in the Bronx. And what we're looking to do is we're looking to provide free haircuts for all children with autism. Whereas when they come, you know, they get their free haircuts, which is really important because, you know, children with autism, they have what's called sensory processing disorders. And a lot of children with autism, you know, it's really difficult for them to get a regular haircut. You know, when I go to the barbershop, I enjoy a haircut. I could sit there and I could fall asleep and let the barber do his thing. But when children who have autism and sensory processing disorders go take a haircut, it is a traumatic experience for them. You know, it's a frightening experience because they have what's called sensory processing disorders, which is, you know, their senses can either be very high or very low. And when they go take a haircut and that machine goes over their scalp, it is a painful experience. And, you know, it's not just painful for the child who has autism. It's also painful for the family members, you know. And, you know, what we're looking to do is we're looking to make this experience, when they go back to school, this event is going to be held like 1 or 2 days right before school starts. And we're looking to make this an enjoyable, you know, experience. Whereas, you know, children who have autism, they could come, you know, there'll be food, there'll be back to school supplies there for them. There'll be information for the parents and their siblings. But most importantly, you know, we're looking to provide a safe and comfortable environment for the child who has autism. So if the child wants to be on the floor and get a haircut on the floor, then that's what it is. And if if the child feels so uncomfortable that they don't want to get a haircut, then we're not trying to force them into getting a haircut. We just want to make the whole experience of getting a haircut an enjoyable experience for them.
Yes, and we'd like to salute you, for putting this together and really taking the time. Now, explain Liam's Life with Autism, this book that you have.
Sure. Liam's Life with Autism is a children's picture book that I wrote, and I wrote it because I've noticed that we all know children can be harsh to each other, but what I notice is that children don't sometimes understand children, especially children with autism, and I looked on the internet to see what kind of books were out that really talks about the topic of autism, what it is to live with autism, what it is to live with sensory processing disorders. So I wrote a book which is called Liam's Life with Autism, Sensory Overload, so that people can get an insight on what a child goes through on a daily basis. When Liam goes to school, it's not just him getting on the bus and eating breakfast and listening to his teacher and following the rules. It could be something completely different for him. And, the book provides insight, so that, I'm sorry about that, so that other children can see what children who have autism and sensory processing go through. And you know what? It's not just for children. I realize that there's a lot of educators out there that don't know what autism is too. And they might have a child who has autism in their classroom and not even realize, what autism looks like. And when we walk in the streets and we see children throwing themselves on the floor and the parents are standing there patiently waiting for them, and we're saying, some people can actually say to themselves, and I know I was one when I was very young, some people will actually say, look at that child misbehaving. If that child was mine, that would not be happening. But, they don't know that child might have autism, might be experiencing a sensory overload, whether it is through his vision or through his hearing. And that behavior is happening because of the stimulus, all the different things that are happening in his environment. So I wrote the book so that, children and adults and educators and siblings, because there's a lot of siblings out there that have children, that have brothers and sisters that are autistic, but they're not autistic themselves. So, the book is a good tool just to open the topic of conversation of what autism is, what it feels like, what Liam goes through, sensory processing disorders, what it is. Why is it that, children have their fingers in their ears and they're walking the street like that? Why is it that they're screaming and throwing themselves on the floor? Maybe is an auditory or visual overload, and they have limited vocabulary and they can't really express themselves. So they throw themselves on the floor because that's the way they express themselves. I wrote the book so it could it could provide some insight on what autism is and what sensory processing is in the life of a child who has autism.
Well, definitely would like to thank you for taking the time out for doing that, writing a book and educating others on autism. Now, the event that you have coming up, you have a date, and how did you come across Kate Owens?
Well, I was doing research, and I realized that I really couldn't find a barbershop here in the Bronx. I called I spoke to a couple owners, but I really couldn't find a barbershop that was willing to partner up with me in this event. Most barbers, they were truthful. They told me how, their barbers, didn't want to participate in an activity like that. It's very time consuming. So I did my research and I went online, and I thank God I was able to find Kate online. And, you know, I reached out to her, and her assistant was, you know, so kind. And Kate reached back, you know, she reached out to me again immediately, and we started talking, and she was excited and I was excited, and, you know, and we just hooked up that way, you know. Thank God for the internet, because, you know, I was able to find her through the internet. You know, she's going to be participating in this event here in New York. So she's coming up from Florida to New York, and I really appreciate, you know, all her help. And you know, we're going to have 1 or 2 barbers from this location, and, you know, we're looking to host this event 2 days before the start of the school, which is around September 12th, 13th. That would give students enough time to, you know, to come get a haircut and come pick up their school supplies. And, you know, if we decide that we want to go with this event for 2 days, you know, we'll have it for 2 days. And if it really turns out well and we get enough donors and we get enough people who are willing to participate, you know, and the owner of the barbershop is willing to give it to us for 3 days, then maybe we'll have this event for 3 days. But, you know, we're looking to have this event 2 days before the school starts in September.
All right. Well, look forward to hearing more about that, and we definitely like to salute you for taking the time for calling in. But before we let you go, please let everybody know how they could get in contact with you, maybe some information, if there's some donation link. The stage is yours.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that opportunity. My website is www.lifewithautisminc.net. That's www.lifewithautisminc.net. And you can also reach out to us on Facebook, which is Life with Autism, Inc. And we can also be reached at GoFundMe. The title for GoFundMe is Free Haircut for the number 4 Children with Autism. Free haircut for children with autism.
Well, thank you so much for calling in. Salute, and good luck on everything that you're doing.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
No problem. Let's get back to the haircut that John the barber's doing right here. What is that again? Though
Asbury Park.
Asbury Park.
That's where the Jersey Shore barber battle will be.
Okay, so that's where the Jersey Shore barber battle is going to be. That is Sunday, July 29th, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., the 3rd annual Jersey Shore barber battle, hosted by Showtime C and Ambitious Angelo. Freestyle design, traditional and beard, fast fade, pro and student, female barber fade and beard, man bun braiding. I'm loving that right there. Got to talk to this guy, Barbers Cuts. I believe Barbers Cuts, it's his year. It's his time to shine. We're talking about a barber that braids, and the braids that he does are just, they're on point. I know he got an invitation from Gingy, and they did braids at Governor's Island. I think it was from some EDC. I don't know what that's called over there. It's like a music festival.
Yeah, EDC.
I would be honored if, like, Gingy, someone of her skills, and I'm someone braiding hair, get a phone call from her to do an event. You're standing out. So Barbers Cuts, I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna send him this flyer, and I got my money on him. So again, this is at the house, 572 Cookman Avenue, Asbury Park, New Jersey, 07712. For more information, you can go, or if you would like to register or for tickets, go to jsbarberbattle.eventbrite.com. Now, EG, I don't know if you know this, but I'm pretty sure you do. On your IG story, you can take a picture of freestyle design And you can actually take the link from the JS Barber Battle and put it there on the story and have them swipe up to register for that category. Take a picture. You put traditional haircut with beard. And you tell them to swipe up for that category on your IG stories.
Great idea.
It's one of the things that we talk about here on the ScissorSalute Show is make sure that you are well-rounded in having your social media work for you. I will advise that you do not try to put your personal Facebook with the swipe up. Because in order to swipe up, you have to have a Facebook fan page. Again, you need a Facebook fan page to get the swipe up access on your IG stories. But there's also swipe up access on Snapchat. Just trying to give you some, if you don't know, now you know. House of Independence, again, 572 Cookman Avenue, Asbury Park, New Jersey. It's going to be, pretty sure he's going to be announcing I'm pretty sure there's going to be some workshops there. Hair competition, networking, raffles, exhibitors. There's going to be live performances, guest appearances. $30 to get in there. $30 to invest. You're investing $30 to go to this event and make your network happen. Again, Jamie's still mic'd up. I want to get back to coming across two people that don't know that you do hair, introducing yourself, and letting them know that you do cut hair. So give us an example of how someone can accomplish that.
So if you go out to eat, just even going out at night for a drink, if you're meeting up with friends and they bring people you don't know, introduce yourself, let them know what you do, let them know where you are, let them know what you can do with their hair. It goes a long way. At first, I used to be so shy, and it's like, who the hell wants to hear about me doing hair all the time? You're in the shop 40 plus hours a week. The last thing you want to do is bring your work home with you. But in the reality of the situation, it's what we do. It's who we are. Our entire lives revolve around this, and it's how we make our money. So you're not making money if there's no one in your chair. So the idea is to get as many people in that chair as you can. And if just speaking when you're out and about to people you don't know, 1 to 2 people, can make those 2 people forever clients of you, then it's worth a shot.
And Jamie, how do you feel about upsales for barbers? You said you were a hairstylist that's what you first took on. Hairstylist is pretty much a program for upsales.
Yeah.
It's day one. It's programming, education and upsales. What is your opinion on upsales in the barbershop, and what should some barbers do to get that upsell?
So just for maxing your ticket price, there's little things. Right now there's that black mask phase, right? So it's something simple. You could buy a $7 to $12 tube of it, and you're tacking on an extra $10, $7 to $10 onto your ticket price by just cleaning their nose,
Yeah, some people need that.
I always offer, hey, you're going somewhere after here, let me shampoo you. We have 2 shampoo sinks that aren't used very often in the barber shop. I wash their hair out. Takes me 5 to 10 minutes to dry it and throw some product in for them. An extra $5 to $7 tacked on to the ticket price. Big thing now at Jack's Chop Shop, we created our own shampoo and conditioner for dry and flaky scalps. So that's a big thing. I have, guys coming in with these dry scalps, people who are getting skin fades all the time.
A lot of them labor workers, a lot of the union workers.
Exactly. Their heads are constantly in the helmets, or, even those that are getting skin fades, they're getting sunburnt on their head and then it's peeling, So throwing that on, it's what we made it perfect for men. It's a body wash and a shampoo. It's a one-stop shop. It's an extra $20 onto your ticket price. Easy sell.
I can't get enough of it. I'm going to keep on talking about it, how important it is for the upsells. If you watch the show, you guys know that I was working at Fernandes Salon. I was the in-house barber just on Tuesdays. But I just got to see the upsells going like crazy. The reminders, you get the ticket. And they would be like, oh, if you want, you can write down what you did on them. So I'd write down the haircut that I did, I hand them the ticket, whatever. And then they'd come back. the ticket, the directions for the haircut is already there. And I'm like, oh man, look, I wrote that pretty good. Then it'd be like, well, listen, 2 months ago he bought this hair product, so bring it up to him, see if he wants to buy it. He seems to get it every 2 months. Bring it up, sure enough, he got it. Now the haircut they gave me a % of the sale. Now the haircut just went up. I feel barbers, you don't really have to try to sell it. You have to use it. You have to be able to use your communication, your personality, and it's just like Jaime said, you have to use it. Put the gel in their hair. Wow, that smells good. Where can I get that? We have it here. How much is it? $15. Yeah. Listen, I don't want a gel, but I want that look. Okay, well, you want some pomade. You might want some hair wax. Check out the hair wax. There's different levels on it. That's the thing. One of the hair wax we have at our shop actually has the level of hold. A point to what I'm saying is you could take a $20 haircut and turn it into $27, $30. Now, it might not be like, oh, Eli, you're not really selling me on that. But then, as a barber, you know everything adds up. If you can get an extra $30, $40 a day, and you're in the shop 6 days a week, there you go. Now do the math. It's an extra $180. Now, extra $180 every week. No, every week. Now you do the monthly increase. The whole point of what I'm saying is, don't sell yourself short. Don't sit there and be on some all these corny guys is using enhancements. All these guys, it's fiber beard. You guys are putting fake beards on people and all that. You're limiting your money. You're limiting your money. And the barber that's next to you, they're gonna learn to do the enhancements. They're gonna want to do that. They're gonna want to do the extra, get that extra money. That's what we started off with the show talking about the hair pieces. Yeah, that class is anywhere from $500 to $1,000, but you get it back. What is it? The micro thing with the dots. Everyone putting dots on the bald heads. That's money right there. John, are you mic'd up?
I sure am.
Oh, here we go. So let's get right into it right here. Sometimes you do this, and it's one of them shows. It's a live show, so we're rolling with it, and John is mic'd up.
What's going on?
John, you've done platform education recently. You were at BarberCon. How did it go there? Because it was hot.
It went great, man. I was over there with Muck, and I just went over there, did a little showcase. You know how I do it, man. I do some designs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I noticed that because we had like a promo picture for you, and then you switched it to some Buddha.
What?
You switched the advertisement for the show that you were going to be a show, the Buddha head.
Right. Yeah. That was actually at the Connecticut show from last year. The one that I did now was this time was a skull. I actually didn't post it up yet, but well, I did, but it's not the official picture yet.
Now, people want a showcase for Muck. They want a showcase for these names. You've done platform work for other companies.
Yeah, I did work for Babeless for about 5 years. I was actually one of the first barbers on the team before it became Babeless for Barbers.
So the viewers, they want to work for these companies. What is your advice to these viewers that are watching right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's simple. I mean, first of all, you gotta have confidence in yourself, and if you don't, then you definitely gotta work on getting better, or at least work on having confidence. Obviously, as you learn, you definitely gain confidence as you go. And then definitely go to shows. So whatever shows are like local, whatever you can get whatever you can get to. I try to get to every show within, a 3-hour drive. I try to go to any of those shows, and just talk to people, network. Meet people of whatever team you want to work for. You just go up to them, just start talking to them. You know what I mean? So it was simple for me. I actually.
John, can you turn him in the chair a little bit? I guess to your right, swivel him over.
Right now, I'm just throwing a little 3D on there.
Nah, hold up. Switch them the other way so we can
way,
see. Yeah, I just want to be able to see what you're doing right there. Seeing a lot of the back shoulder, just for the viewers that are watching. I know that right here. This is again what I was talking about. He's using the corner of the blade, and it's art. But when you're working with hair, remember you're not putting on lead or ink or color. You're erasing. And he's using the corner as a pencil.
Yeah, you really got to think backwards.
Yeah, and here comes another thing. Detail to, you're paying attention to the growth of the hair. How the hair is growing. Which direction is the hair growing? Are you going to want to outline it here? You're going to go for the gusto. Or you're going to play a little bit safer and keep it wider. These are all different things that he's paying attention to. I see your choice of weapon tonight is a detailer.
Yes.
Now, you have multiple liners and you're just going with this one?
No, actually, the detailers happen to be my favorite trimmer. And it's because the teeth are a lot wider. So when I'm doing beards, when I'm doing designs like this, it really, so for like other clippers with narrower teeth like Andis, which I also really like. Those are they're a lot sharper than these. There's more detail with the Andis ones. I just feel like there's a lot of maintenance with those, and this is just my personal choice. I don't I don't work for them or anything. I just noticed that their teeth are wider, so it just cuts a lot more hair and a lot thicker hair.
Walls, pay attention, Walls, pay attention.
It's a lot more powerful because it's a rotary motor rather than a a magnetic motor, which you can stop with your hands. You know what I mean? So
I know exactly.
It's just my preference.
Well, you see, again, Walls, take note. We're talking about someone. Another thing that was brought up last week is that the educators need to be educated in exactly not only what they're doing, but to be able to talk about a rotary engine and the wide blade and other things of that nature when it comes to it. That's the whole thing. Now, you have an announcement to make. You have a business about your open, but I wanted to mention everybody that his sister does hair, his girl does hair. This is definitely hair love. But let's get into the announcement. You're about to open up an establishment. Salute to that.
Thank you very much.
Let's go right into it.
I'm opening up my first barbershop. So I'm very excited. It's going to be called the Kings of the Craft Barbershop down in Red Bank, New Jersey. So I'm really excited. I've always been wanting to do something like this for like a really long time. It's been a dream of mine. I'm finally doing it, so I'm very excited.
Definitely. And now we're talking about educators, and I might as well ask you because you educated, but you seem to have stepped back. Did you step back to take care of, other things in your life?
Well, I think that it's very important to take care of your local clientele because that's where you get in. That's your bread right there. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I did. I kind of focused a little more on my local clientele. Because with all the traveling and stuff like that, it started to take a toll on my client list. So tried to just take it easy a little bit with the shows. I was doing like every barber battle I can get to, and when I was able to do that, it was fine. But now I'm trying to get my shop open. I'm trying to take care of my kid. I'm trying to take care of the rent, and things like that. So
Oh no, it definitely.
It's a lot of fun, but you have to definitely be able to handle the traveling, which I love and I miss, but
I mean, yeah, and I'll tell you this much: that design is definitely wasn't looking like it was looking earlier.
Yeah,
it looks very
making
clean.
It pop out a little bit. I'm outlining it a little bit.
Yeah, that when you outline it, it pops out, but there's no denying how clean the lines look. Again, if you're watching the show and you're wondering how can I do something like that, of course, you need to be the people that are artistic are going to have more of an advantage because they already have the hand and eye coordination The vision is separate, but it's not saying that you can't learn to do something like this. Just properly using the tools. Again, he's using the corner of the blades, lightly gently pressing, and letting the tool really do the work.
I truly believe that like anybody can learn how to do anything they want, you know what I mean? So I mean, you know, I didn't just know how to do this. I practiced it. So before I started cutting hair, I was doing graffiti. So, you know, I was really focusing on my line structure, things like that. It really helped me things like this where I'm actually creating letters. You know, and I'm just freestyling these letters, you know what I mean? So at this point, I can do things like that because I practice it so much. And that's really all it is. I mean, it's all about practice.
Oh, yeah, it's
and also the good thing about this style of art is it actually translates really well into the freestyle designs that you see a lot of.
Yeah, but you've gotten some serious trophies in the past too. You know, multi-award winning barber there. You know, take us to the first time on the stage. You're competing. What's going through your mind? You know, take us back there.
So the first, going way. Actually, it was like 2013, 2014, something like that. It was my first show, my first barber battle. I actually wasn't planning on doing the. I actually wasn't planning on doing it. I just showed up with my clippers, and it was what show was that? The one in Elizabeth that they do. It's the exotic show that they do every year in Jersey.
I think I was there.
You might, yeah. I think you were there. You know, this is like before I started meeting a lot of people. It was very early in my career. I mean, early in my like show career, like being on stage and things like that. Hold on one second. Sorry guys, I'm just searching something for the rest of the design. All right. Yeah, so I had no intention of going in. Again, I was doing very well. Short money, so I ended the line was so long, so all the practice sold like 18 tickets.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and a lot of people didn't call in that bought tickets.
Yeah, that was crazy. I remember that.
Yeah, and so I just decided to go up, and my buddy was like, "Why don't you join it?" I said, "Okay, you know, but you got to spot me money because I only had like $5 on me." And so he did. I signed up. I got in, and I ended up winning first place for the duplication design, which is actually my favorite category to be in.
And that was it.
Yeah,
you got open.
So that's pretty much the first one that I did, and then I started going to like pretty much all of them, as many as I could go to, and that's when I started meeting people all around, and kept me very busy for about a year and a half, 2 years, and then I had to come back home and start doing some real work, you know, because it was just becoming too much, and I got a kid at home. It was a lot of fun though, and I try to still do a lot of the local ones. You know, like the ones all around Jersey and New York. We were just over there at the one in Queens, the BarberCon.
Yeah, and I believe the Lineup Inc. has was a concrete jungle.
Yeah, I actually didn't do any.
That's
didn't
coming
do the
up
battles,
September.
but yeah, man, shows everything. You know what I mean? So I could start. You know, you got to show up. You got to like show your face. People
Yeah, it
gotta
goes
start
to
to know
concrete.
you.
What is it? Concrete Jungle Hair Battle brought to by the Lineup
Yeah,
Inc.
that's the lineup right there. Yeah, they're.
I love the Lineup Inc. because
I know they're great guys.
New York needs this, man.
Yeah.
They're really good dudes.
They got Success Addict hosting it, and New York needs this. It's it's great that BarberCon worked out the way it did. You know, I'm not gonna lie. When I first walked up, I was like, "What is this?" Then when I went inside, I was like, "Wow, Lee really did it." Then me, I'm a sociable person. I like coming up, introducing myself again because you are already there. To pay money to go or to invest money to go to one of these events, and you're not going in there trying to shake hands with people, exchange information. you're really selling yourself short.
Pictures.
And I met someone from Hawaii. Okay, Hawaii is part of the United States, but that's a hike right there. Met someone from Brazil, Trinidad, a couple of people from Europe, and it's just great to see where the profession has gone. You know that, you know, people getting worldwide recognition. I mean, the same day BarberCon was going on, I went on to, I believe, Elegance, went live. Elegance was like in South America somewhere. That place was jam-packed. I mean, this guy A-Rod has more followers than some of these repost pages, a lot of them. And we're talking like big names. He also got something he's working out with Behind the Chair. We're talking about a barber working with Behind the Chair. So it's just great to see where their profession is going. John, you can just keep doing what you're doing.
You want me to come over there? You want me to?
No, we're gonna actually walk up over there because we have about 10 minutes. So we're just gonna come over there and visit you.
All right, sounds good.
And wrap up the show over there. But bring us through, just for the audience, you know, for the people that are watching. Bring us through what you did there a little bit. Oh my! I'm over here knocking stuff down.
All right, so you know, I got a couple different techniques when I do graffitiing people's heads. You want me to go over what I'm doing, right?
Yeah, just give
right.
a little brieferization.
So, easiest way to do it, and what I find to be the best way to do it, is actually carve out the letters first, hollow, so that the letters are the skin, and then just do a little outline around it, and it makes it pop out. Definitely the easiest way to do it. I've done it like different ways, and to me, that's one way I enjoy to do it. So that's pretty much it, you know.
And if you notice, he has Asbury Park in the model's head on the canvas, and he's talking about the 3rd annual Jersey Shore Barber Battle presented by E.G. Cuts, who is actually the model in the chair. General investment. It's going to be $30 at the door. If you'd like to compete,
I like that.
Vend or any type of other information, go to jsbarberbattle.eventbrite.com. A lot of different categories going there. Again, ScissorSalute's going to be hitting up Bonita cuts from King of Blades for this man bun braiding. And any barber that wants to put up money to see who's going to win that, I'll personally, if you got PayPal, I got PayPal. We can see what's what. I definitely got my money on Bonita to come up on top right there. So that's the 3rd annual Jersey Shore Barber Battle. Again, for more information, go to jsbarberbattle.eventbrite.com or simply follow him on Instagram, Jersey Shore Barber Battle. Gonna ask Jaime Lynn to come up on the stage. We're gonna be wrapping up the show here. Again, I'd like to salute the call-ins. Freddy, who called in. You can, if you would like to find out more information about what he's doing, you can go to www.lifewithautismc.net. We'd also like to scissor salute Kate Owens and congratulate Kate Owens, because it just seems like she stepped out of her comfort zone, made the move, and it's happening. And we'd definitely like to salute her and congratulate her on everything that she's accomplished. And we're looking forward to seeing her later on in September when this event actually takes place. We'd also like to scissor salute John for coming through here. Scissor salute, John. Great work. E.G. Cuts, although he's not mic'd up, we was trying to talk to him. I'd like to congratulate this man again. It's something so small. Okay, again, because he's just paying attention and so focused to what he's doing. 8 years in this profession, already owns his business, and he's on his 3rd annual event. How many of shows that we've seen that had that title, annual, and it didn't happen? Now, there's nothing against them. I'm not putting you down or nothing, but what I'm going to do is scissor salute someone who's working on their 3rd annual event, because it's that hard. It takes a lot of time. First of all, we're in the shop, and we're so busy getting people ready to go to events, we don't go to events. Sometimes we're late. Well, I know I'm damn near late, and I like to be on time. But as a whole, sometimes we're late. Yeah. Like, you know, I'm on the phone with wifey, like, oh, where are you? I'm like, I was about to leave. Heavy hitter just walked in. You know what time it is. I'm in the trenches. And the kids even know. They're like, Dad's in the trenches. It's a
Your
heavy
network,
hitter.
man. Your
So,
network is your net worth, man.
Yeah, to see that he has his 3rd annual event, very happy about that. That's going to be at the House of Independence, 572 Cookman Avenue, Asbury Park. As you see in the back of the head, Asbury Park. Salute to that. I'd like to salute everybody who's been watching the show. The hashtag keeps growing. Next week, I'm going to have 6 haircuts that I'm going to show because I didn't have my 3. So if you would like to see your haircut, have me critique your haircut on the show. Now remember, I'm saying, would you like me to critique it? Simply hashtag ScissorSalute. We're going to go through the haircuts through the ScissorSalute hashtag, and I'll be talking about them. Matter of fact, I'm going to put this if you're watching the show. If you would like to discuss your haircut on the show, email us. If you'd like to be featured on the show, email us. If you'd like to book us to come to an event, advertise with us, email us, ScissorSalute@yahoo.com. Leave all your contact information. We'll get back to you in the order that the email's received. Again, we'd like to ScissorSalute LA for having us here. We're here at Paradise Studios in Massapequa, New York. Definitely the studio just keeps on getting better. I always come in here and try to find something new. Didn't find nothing new because I was running a little late. But ScissorSalute to LA, the boss right there. And if you like house music, switch over to StrongIsland.tv. Check out my house shows coming up next here on StrongIsland.tv, the quickest and strongest TV channel on Facebook. ScissorSalute. Yeah.
Should we do it on the table?
Yeah, if he's got a controller as well.
Yeah, okay.